Good morning and welcome to another episode of Josh and Pat. I'm Joshua Klein, joined by Patrick Cassett. And does Gohlke have an opportunity to play in the NBA? This is the question that everyone's wondering. After he eliminated Kentucky from the tournament and then went on to, really compete in that second round there. He competed, okay? He took some shots there. I do believe he covered at the end of the game for their team, for Oakland. And now people are wondering, what's the future look like for him? I've heard people saying Honda dealership. I've heard people saying that Sproul is licking at the chops, thinking about the opportunity to put this guy on the team and make him a role player for that Miami Heat team. We're not really sure what the future looks like, but I'll tell you what, Patrick, if I know anything, it's that the most points you can score in basketball at a time are how many points, Patrick? Three. And I know that every single time Gohlke scores, how many points does he score, Patrick?
3.
That's the maximum amount. Every single time Gohlke scores, he scores the most amount of points you can score at a time in the game of basketball. And if that's not greatness, I don't know what is. Patrick, what is the next step of his career look like, and where do you see Gohlke in this coming year?
Well, I'd love to see him get another year. I mean, he's 24. I think he would have a lot to prove in the NCAA ranks at 25. Imagine he adds that one extra year of experience. We're talking infinite possibilities. Right. But there's a team out there right now that I think could use him and maybe should look to sign him. Maybe, hey, let's just get him in on 10-day, right? Let's bring him in on a 10-day. Look, I think if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, he's the last piece for a championship run.
Right. I mean,
because you look to add a 3-point specialist. Who wouldn't want that? Think about the Miami Heat. They had Ray Allen. They don't win that NBA Finals without Ray Allen.
Right.
Just replace Ray Allen with Jack Gohlke. Same thing.
Right. No, I agree. There's definitely an element of that. I also think that at this point, it couldn't hurt to put him on the Washington Wizards.
It'd sell tickets.
I mean, yeah, at least for a couple
and not
games.
even that. Like, he would probably make more shots than half of the guys that got started.
Well, the issue is I don't know if Jordan Poole would pass him the ball because I'm not sure he's passed the ball yet this season.
Mm-hmm.
But if he did pass him the ball, we can imagine that he would get some looks, get some opportunities, might do a good thing. But it's interesting how that works, and I don't know if he's eligible for another year. He is already, I believe, a 6-year senior. Mm-hmm. If with the COVID year, maybe with
COVID
redshirt year,
maybe graduate. Maybe you can get a graduate year too.
Yeah, I'm not new NCAA landscape. We're not really 100% sure on. So we're
and you got to remember he goes D2 to D1, so you got to think that at least counts for an extra year too.
Right, you should. Yeah, you're right. If you make the jump up,
you should gain back a year.
Like if you do, you could, like, in theory, you should be able to do, because now, listen, it's paid now. You have to remember that. Now that there's paid opportunities to play, it's a job. And so, like, you should be able to do 4 years D3 and then 4 years D2, work your ways up, kind of like the minor league system in baseball. We don't cap you off of how many years you can play AA.
If you're good enough to play, they're going to sign you. And so if I know anything about a free market economy, Gohlke deserves one more year.
Right. Give him another year. Just do it. Just give him one more year and see what happens.
Who could really think about it, Josh? If he does come back for 1 year, I could tell you a team that could really use him. I think if Kentucky brought in Gohlke, that probably takes them to the next level. They probably don't get bounced in the first round.
I'd argue you play that game. Oakland doesn't have Gohlke. Kentucky has Gohlke. Kentucky wins that game.
My math tells me
they go on and they beat NC State.
Yeah, my math tells me that's a 64-point swing.
Yeah. So I think in the 64-point swing, they win.
And I'm with you, Josh. I think they would have beaten NC State too.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think it'd be entertaining. This tournament's been entertaining, though, men's and women's side. We've been seeing a lot from the men's side. Women's side's heating up, too. I just saw a player the other day say F you to the refs as they got fouled out of the game. And their team was, the game was within 2. and there was like 30 seconds left. Patrick, talk to me about this story because I do think it was an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cameron Brink, right? So it's you kind of have, you got the Caitlin Clarks, you got the Angel Reeses.
Right.
And then right behind there's Cameron Brink. And I'll tell you what, if she's going to start telling every referee to go F themselves,
Right.
I think she might start climbing that ladder. And apparently, well, it's not apparently, she is very good at basketball too. And she plays for a really good team. So at this point, I'm looking forward to them making a run. Because if you got Stanford people, which I'm told are really, really smart, and they're that competitive,
Right.
I mean, imagine where they can go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Patrick. I hear you. I think that they got a chance to do something. Smart people have a high ceiling in life, and we know that.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's good to showing personality, I think, is a good thing to an extent. I mean, I'd say that one of the main reasons that the women's tournament last year got as much hype as it did, on top of, the play being well and good, was the fact that Caitlin Clark was telling people, like, go to sleep. Was that? No, that was Steph Curry. That Caitlin Clark, what'd she do? She did something. Was it the shh or?
Yeah, it was the shh.
Right, she did the shh, and then everyone was saying she did that at
LSU.
LSU, but turns out
It wasn't.
But the thought that it did really got people excited and stirred up.
Right.
So we do need more potential opportunities like this where people are showing some personality. But speaking of the LSU team,
well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Speaking of the LSU team, Josh,
people hate them.
Well, an all-time moment from the coach. I mean, she just said that she was going to sue a person for an article that hasn't even come out yet.
She's unhinged. I do think. Did you see though the little manufactured banana ball, Savannah Bananas thing? They came. Savannah Bananas came to LSU, sold out the stadium. She threw out the first pitch, got ejected. It was like the whole bit, but I'm not even sure that was a bit. She might have actually got ejected. She's a personality, and I'll tell you what, no one's rooting for that team to fail more than the United States.
Yeah,
and people who watch basketball.
It's an awesome the documentary that's going to come out on this team in a couple years. Yeah. It's going to be so good. Because we still don't know why Angel Reese didn't play the first couple games of the season. Was she suspended? We don't know.
We don't know.
And then now we got the coach threatening lawsuits, which is just look, love her or hate her. This is awesome.
Right.
This is this is awesome to watch.
No, it's electric. And also think about Haley Van Lith was benched at one point and they were down. They were losing. Then you got Angel Reese, massive superstar. It's going to be interesting. And at what point do they play Iowa in the tournament?
I think it would be Elite 8 or Final 4.
Right on. Elite 8 or Final 4. I guess that's going to be... we're assuming that's happening, right?
Yeah, we know ball. Well, LSU's really been struggling the first two games. So, but hey, they made it to the Sweet 16, so they know.
They know, right. Caitlin Clark's dad, Iowa, she tells her to shut up. That was interesting. Kind of looks
Which is awesome.
Kind of looks like John Harbaugh to me. But maybe you
looks
disagree.
Like Thom Brenneman.
Maybe.
There's
but
a drive.
That was an all-time dad
field.
coaching his kid moment. And do you think how do you think she receives that? Like that's got to be tough.
I got a feeling she didn't hear her dad in the moment.
Right.
So.
Maybe he was talking to somebody else, though. Do we know he was talking to her?
We don't know, but it appears he was looking at the court.
Right, because she was complaining about a call. He goes, shut up. So the timing of that tells me... Or maybe he was saying to the refs, shut up.
Right.
Yeah, it's a chance.
That's probably what it was.
Broncos are getting new uniforms. This is an exciting time to be a Broncos fan. They're getting new uniforms, which I guess every team's doing now. I'm not sure if the Broncos are how much they're going to change.
Mm-hmm.
But... We're excited to see what they look like potentially, but bigger news than that is they might be getting a new quarterback.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what it tells me, Josh, is that the Russell Wilson era was so bad that not only did they get rid of the quarterback, they said, we're getting a new uniform too.
Right. And that's That's what we have to remember. Now, who are the current Broncos quarterbacks like on the roster right now? Do we know?
Is Jarrett Stidham still there?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm looking. Oh. Ben DiNucci.
He started a game in this league.
Right. So you got okay. So right now, worst comes to worst, they roll out Ben DiNucci. Gucci
I'm
DiNucci.
kind of for that. Yeah.
I mean, he's a XFL champion.
Oh, we got breaking news.
Uh-oh.
The NFL has banned the hip drop tackle.
No. And that's tough because Mark Andrews really wishes that was probably done like
a year
ago.
Mm-hmm. But hear me out, Josh. Hear me out. There's a thing called gravity. Right. And if I were to go tackle and I'm near the hip,
right,
odds are, just hear me out here. Odds are I'm probably going to fall to the ground too.
Right. So my question is, how do we tackle somebody now?
Mm-hmm. Well, it appears you have to tackle someone up.
Into the air.
And
then what happens, like, doesn't that feel like there's a lot more that could happen when you're in the air?
Yes, but we can't tackle at the hip and then let gravity take us down. So you got to go the other way.
So just now, if you tackle them in the air and like they're up, if they're floating, can then I tackle them again while they're in the air and just keep bouncing them up?
I think, yeah, and then but make sure they're going backwards, right? And then that way you're always on safety watch.
Yes, man, that's a wild move. You have to imagine there's a lot of people that are not going to be like this at all.
I would imagine anyone that plays defense.
Everyone plays defense, yes.
Yeah.
Probably people coach defense too.
Mm-hmm.
Even people that maybe watch defense. Like if you're a team that doesn't have that much offensive production and maybe the defense is what you guys kind of root for, you're like, a lot of fans' lives got worse too.
Right. Like if you were a Steelers fan from last year,
oh man,
like there goes all your rooting interest.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know about that move, man. That's an interesting one. But you have to imagine this is the safer way to go and that they're doing the right thing here because clearly there's better ways to tackle than to hip drop somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's other ways you can do it. You can
because remember, now you can't hit at the hips, you can't hit below the knees, and you can't hit above the chest.
Okay, wait.
So it leaves
can't hit below the knees.
Right.
Can't hit above where?
Above the chest.
Can't
like at the head level.
Above the chest, okay? And what? So then you have this middle section.
Mm-hmm. But you can't hit at the hip either.
Okay, so you got...
So belly button to chest.
Belly to the chest. You right here?
Uh-huh.
Window?
Yep.
Okay.
That feels like it's a pure tackling zone.
So they just got to find somebody who's like genetically like just legs and the head. Like is that guy out there? Like if I'm searching for somebody right now, like as a scout, I'm going.
So you're looking for the longest legs possible and the shortest torso.
Yes. And like just the head, like legs to head is what ideally. Like that to me is good. I mean, like that's essentially what they're saying is the perfect player.
To not get tackled. The perfect offensive player.
But you know, like as the game evolved, like we've seen players evolve. Like they said that, you know, if you look at, like for instance, in the NBA, if you are 7 feet tall, and this was like years ago, the study came out, so it might be different now. There is a 10% chance you're in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was like 30. It was like a high percentage. Like a lot of people. Like, wait a second, that's a lot. Right now?
That's a lot of people.
Right. So there's gonna be a world where like athletes are gonna genetically not modified, but the right, natural selection, certain types of athletes are going to find. Just like when catching and wide receiver position changed, people's arms got longer and they became a little bit, hands got bigger. We're going to get to a point now where these wide receivers, their arms might stay the same length, but their torsos are just going to get shorter and shorter and shorter. Until like 10, 20 years from now, we're going to be watching a torso-less league.
Until they change the rules again.
Right, and then they're going to be like, okay, well, no torso tackles, and then I don't know how you tackle. Like, once you get rid of the only place left to go is the chest and the belly, but we're not sure what happens when that day comes. We'll put a countdown to that day.
I think it's not illegal to hit in the midsection.
What about the midsection? What's that mean? Really?
Yeah. Like, that's not illegal. That's below the hip. Above the knee.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. Hey, We'll figure that. Good luck at NFL with that rule changes, and good luck to all you torso-less friends out there who decided you're going to make a push to the NFL. That's going to be exciting. Just to cover up the last one, Broncos might get J.J. McCarthy. So, and by the way,
they might.
This is going to be an all-time they probably saw that. They're like, okay, Chargers might be interested in trading for him or something. We're gonna screw our division rivals. We're going to say, you know what? We're going to jump JJ.
Yep.
Good luck defending JJ, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be exciting to watch. Patriots might trade their pick. This comes as an interesting story because as it stands right now, the Patriots do not have someone play the quarterback position.
Well, Jacoby Brissett.
The Patriots do not have someone to play the quarterback position. So then
what about what's his name? The guy that was the backup to Mac Jones that became the starter.
Oh, Bailey Zappi. Zappi's still on the team?
He is.
I bet you they wish they had Malik Cunningham right now. But
they wish they had him.
They don't. But I do think that it's an interesting move to say, you know what? These are the quarterbacks we have, but you know what? We might not. We might just trade out and not draft one. Or maybe they know somebody who's like, maybe they're going to try Tom Brady the situation. They're like, you know what? We can't draft a quarterback too high because that's not going to work out for us.
I think I got the fix.
We got to draft low. What?
If you're the Patriots, you trade back because you got many holes on your roster, right? You trade back, you get more picks. You feel like that you can fill more gaps on your roster with more picks. And what you do is you then trade a 6th-round pick to the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, no.
And there's a guy waiting on a breakout season that hasn't got his chance. And
give him
his
chance.
Needs to be put in the right situation. Malik Willis to the Patriots. And think about it. Think about it, Josh. What school did he go to?
Liberty.
What team would he be playing for? The New England
Patriots.
Give me liberty or give me death. The Patriots fight on.
Wow. Make it happen. I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
This is brand new territory for the Patriots. They've never been good and not had Belichick.
Right.
Now they've been bad and had Belichick. We've seen that. So maybe things don't change right now. But it's uncharted waters, and first move out the gate is like, you know what? Jacoby Brissett, he can be our quarterback potentially. Is what they're
feels like that could happen
right here. Yeah, but maybe they don't like any of the quarterbacks in the draft. Maybe they've seen the talent. They're like, no, it drops off. Maybe they're thinking, not a super great quarterback draft if we're really looking at it. I'm sure there'll be something better next year. That's probably. So they're gonna wait to get their guy. That's good for them. OBJ and Kim Kardashian, they break up. Now,
well, I think they did, but then also, Josh, I heard a report that says Kim K wants to have babies with OBJ because of how good his genetics are.
We live in a weird time because turns out some people, they be having babies and they're not even together. So I'm not sure. They could. There's a chance, but OBJ does have pretty good genetics. He's kind of short though.
He's an NFL Hall of Famer.
No, you think so?
Yeah.
That's a controversial take.
He's got the greatest catch the NFL's ever seen.
Right. And if that's all it takes to be in the Hall of Fame, then
Well, it isn't. He was actually good. He's a Super Bowl winner too.
A couple years there.
Super Bowl winner too.
Maybe Super Bowl MVP would have taken him over the top, but
maybe if he didn't tear his ACL, maybe he probably would have got that MVP.
And I don't even know how he tore his ACL because I was told he didn't have an ACL.
That is, yeah. How do you tear your? Yeah, we covered that.
We did.
Yeah.
Unless it was the other ACL, which I don't know about that.
No. But I'm sure he's probably gonna have a breakout season on the Dolphins this year, though.
Is he gonna be on the Dolphins?
Well, I've been told, hey, they've been talking to each other. You got Tua turn the ball over, and him,
and that's exactly what the Dolphins need because we all know that wide receiver was their problem this year.
Yes.
That's what's gonna put them over the top.
It would be really fun to watch, though. Tyreek Hill,
dude,
Jalen Waddle.
They might be the greatest September through October team we've ever seen with Odell Beckham Jr.
Ever.
Like that September's good. Like Dolphins fans are gonna you better buy your popcorn, get your tickets in September, and that's when you're gonna want to watch them.
But there is gonna be a week like they're all gonna play most of the year. I'm pretty confident in that, right? But there will be a week in the third week in November when none of them play.
Yeah. Yep. And then they're gonna have to travel to Buffalo. somewhere cold and Green Bay, and then we're not gonna say things are gonna fall apart there, but we will say that September is gonna be a great time to watch them. So September is gonna be an awesome time to potentially watch them. But I mean, I was rooting for OBJ and Kim K. I thought that they were gonna potentially. Now, I mean, I didn't know if they were gonna make it or not, but because it felt like at the time, it felt like Kim Kardashian wasn't really into the Baltimore scene, as we never saw her.
Never saw her once.
And it feels like I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure her job is showing up to events like that, and just making sure people see her and she stays popular.
It does feel like that is her job.
So you can't tell me that work was the issue.
Yeah, but she didn't even show up to the LA game, to my knowledge.
Yeah. So you think that maybe he broke up with her then? He's like, hey, maybe you got to support me a little bit.
You got to support me. If you don't love me in my Baltimore era, then you don't deserve me in my Miami era.
Right, because I bet you she shows up to Miami games if he's playing in
she'd
Miami.
Be there. Are you kidding me? It would be. Could you imagine it's going to be her and Alex Earl walking in together with Braxton Berrios?
Yeah. Gosh dang it. Yeah.
That's some star power there. I'll tell you that.
She didn't want to come to the bank, so whatever. We don't even care. We don't care. Good for her. Hey, OBJ, good for you.
Yeah, good for you, OBJ. Hey, way to stick it to the system.
Yep. Speaking of sticking it to the system, Deion Sanders is sticking it to any team that drafts Travis Hunter, or Shedeur Sanders that they don't want them to go to. Basically, Deion Sanders said that, listen, Shedeur and Travis Hunter, they got options, and if you draft us and we don't want to go there, we will be pulling an Eli Manning. So that was an interesting move by him.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting considering that neither one of them will get drafted for at least another year plus.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there's allegedly, so Shedeur is going to be this next draft.
Not the one in April.
Not the current one. But
again,
the next
so that
draft.
That would be 13 months away.
Yes. And so, and
so
Deion's
Travis
saying
Hunter,
that he's talked to people in the NFL and that this year Shedeur would have gone number 2, number 1.
What do you think the number 1 team is that he wouldn't go to?
It's going to be tough. It's all going to depend upon a lot of factors this year. For instance,
well, it feels like Deion Sanders is the ones making that call. So what organization do you think Deion likes the least?
There's a chance, and I know he has got some history there, but Washington Commanders probably. I feel like because he has no attachment to the new ownership, but they still suck.
I'll tell you who's in a good spot though, because I imagine, hey, he goes and gets a call, like it's happened before, and Ray and Ed tell him, hey, we need you to play nickel, we need you to play slot cornerback. Well, could you imagine if Ray and Ed were like, hey, we need Travis Hunter on this defense? And I feel as a Ravens fan, we're in great shape because it sounds like Dion may have just eliminated half the league from drafting either of those two.
Yes, you're right, and I do think Baltimore would be on a potential spot that he would be able to go to.
Right.
Like that feels like that wasn't ruled out.
Well, because Travis Hunter feels like he's at the very least a top 10 talent.
Right.
And imagine if you're the Ravens and you get him at 32.
He's just like, no, I'm going to get drafted by Baltimore. Baltimore has like the 32nd pick in the first round, and it's like
they get him,
and then he potentially gets drafted by every single team potentially before, and then he's like, nah, I'm good. Sorry, coach. Wait, I'm going Baltimore. That'd be great for us.
And it'd be awesome because
best case scenario.
Because then the NFL investigation opens up and it's like, hey, it's collusion. And then the Ravens are like, look, it's not my fault that we have such a good organization that he wants to come play for us.
Right. So I think that'd be, and maybe do you think Shador to the Patriots? That's why the Patriots are trading out? Because they know that next year they're going to go get him.
Well, but
because Tom Brady is Shador's mentor.
Do you think this is tough though, right? Jalen Hurts isn't really working out.
Well, we say that he was in a Super Bowl a little over a year ago.
So was Nick Sirianni.
Right.
So what if Jalen Hurts has a bad season, and then there's another mentor of Shador that used to be an owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, has ties to the city.
Oh, man.
Would Michael Rubin try to help the Eagles in that situation?
That's a great question. Michael Rubin feels like he could do a lot. My issue is that he's probably so busy right now trying to fix Nike's mistake with those uniforms.
Bingo.
Bingo. He's probably really preoccupied, and that's my fear, because we know he can do a lot of things at once, but Nike really screwed up on this one, and Fanatics has to really come in and kind of save the day here. So
right, and again, it's not like Nike hasn't been making uniforms for the league for decades and decades. So clearly, it clearly is not Fanatics' problem. It has to be Nike's problem.
Well, but the thing is though, they got too ambitious. They try to do too much, and Fanatic they wanted to cut costs. And Fanatics, Michael Rubin was telling them, "Don't do it. No, just stay true to the integrity of the uniforms." And Nike was like, "No, more money, LeBron James," and then all of a sudden, Michael Rubin's like, "I can't do this. I'm not gonna manufacture these uniforms. I'm not gonna manufacture crap." And they're like, "Well, you signed the contract," and then he had to do it because legally he was obligated.
Obligated.
Now he's got to try to fix this mess, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make the pull to get Shador to Philly. That's why I'm thinking Shador probably does end up with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I haven't heard a lot out of Michael Rubin lately, and so I have to think he's probably head down trying to fix these problems. You're right, Josh.
Yeah. So it's a lot of possibilities, a lot of things going on there. So
I haven't heard much from him ever since his daughter got into college.
Right. Where'd she go?
So he's probably... You're the one that sent me the video.
I did? Oh, I did. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Isn't it like Stanford or something? Isn't that where most rich kids go?
How old is Kylie Rubin?
I don't know, Josh. I would assume 17 if she's going to college next year, right?
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now that
17
on
or 18?
February 23rd, 2022, she was 16. So that means February 23rd,
she's 18.
2023,
She's 18 now.
She was 17, and that means this year, 18. She's 18 years old.
Right, and that tells me that she's due to be in college next year, right?
And she's got 111,000 followers on her Instagram. You know who she's followed by?
Who's she followed by?
Kyle Kuzma.
Of course.
She's 18, dude.
That's not good, dude. Kyle, you can't.
Better be a recent follow.
Or
Well,
you
maybe
like,
good family friend.
Nah, that's what I would be. It better be a family friend.
Yeah, so she is a USC girl.
Oh, it's USC. My bad.
Yeah.
Wait, you follow Kyle Kuzma?
Yeah.
That's I think the bigger takeaway from this. Why do you follow Kyle Kuzma?
Well, because he was, when I was a Lakers fan before LeBron, he was a big part of what we were building.
Yeah, keyword was.
No, he got them a championship. They have not won since he left.
Good. Well, they haven't won a championship they haven't won a championship in a real NBA city since Kobe.
Right, but last time I checked, he was the only they had not even won a bubble championship since he left.
Well, maybe he's a bubble specialist.
But so I do follow Kyle Kuzma though, because I mean I'm invested to see what he's doing and because back in the day you have to remember that Lakers team with Lonzo, Kyle Kuzma,
Swaggy P,
Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. Like that was my team. Yeah. Nick Young. Like those were my guys. Caldwell Pope. Like
whoa. KCP's still a legend.
Right. But you know what I'm saying?
Those were the days when KCP was on work release from prison to go play in the Lakers games.
He had to come. He could only come to games in California.
But it was good for him because it's like he could go play in the Sacramento and the Golden State games too.
Right.
California, big
one
state.
of the better states to get stuck in.
Yeah.
And so those were the days, man. And then we got LeBron, and everything changed, and I had to denounce my Lakers fandom, but
and that's why you still got the shirt.
I still have the shirt. I still got the shirt. But anyway, that's the show, guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys on Friday for another episode. Going to be a fun week of basketball. I'm actually going to be able to potentially pay attention to some basketball this week.
That's
at
big.
Fire School last week. This past weekend. Got it done though.
It's good.
And we're gonna continue. I mean, not done forever, but this weekend's done. And yeah, we're gonna continue to plug along. But I'm hoping to maybe get a pizza this week. Watch some games.
That was an all-time tweet by whoever that was.
Oh yeah.
Somebody responded and said, "Oh shoot, what did they say?" They said, "No, our version is Survivor." And I was like, "Hey, whatever works."
Okay. But I mean that meal right there, because I know one located Domino's. Okay, and everyone knows I love Domino's. Like that's the exact almost order that I would have gotten.
Yeah,
I would have got a pizza. I would have got some of the garlic knots, garlic twists, and I would have got some of those cinnamon twists with the icing. That's my go-to. So, yeah, I will be indulging this week. Anyway,
that's good.
You guys have a wonderful day. A peace.